Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Amagyanatimirandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakkurnimiletam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Soyam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri-Juta-pada-kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanam cha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Siragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakam Vitam cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमति भक्तिवेदांत स्वामीति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So thank you very much. Today we are starting the Śrī Śikṣāṣṭakam, the 8 essential teaching of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu series. So we will go through every session, every verse by verse. That means there is 8 sessions to complete the things. Because we should know the deeper understanding, not just memorize like a parrot. Prabhupada said that if you do not understand the meaning, it's just like a parrot. There is no value of this. So we must understand the deeper meaning, profound meaning of this 8 essential teaching of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Sikkha means teaching or instruction. Ashtakam means 8, comprises of 8 instructions, together called Ashtakam. So although Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the recent incarnation of the Godhead, who descended on the earth just 500 years ago, he was very brilliant student. In his youth, he was a brilliant scholar. But he left only 8 verses. That 8 verses called Sikkhastakam, which is the essence of all Vedanta Sutra, essence of everything. It is a progressive stage. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is glorifying the medicine of particular age of Kali, that is Sankirtan movement. Sankirtan means Samyak Rupena Kirtan, means complete, a full Kirtan. Kirtan means glorifying the Lord. So this Sankirtan movement is the medicine in this age of Kali. Because this age of Kali is very abominable, very inauspicious. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inaugurated this Sankirtan movement, introduced this Sankirtan movement, inundated everyone in this Sankirtan movement, infused everybody in this Sankirtan movement, so that people in general will go back to Godhead easily, without prior education, prior qualification. This is the unbounded mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, the scriptures proclaim that Namo Mahabhadane Krishna Prema Padate Krishna Krishna Chaitanya Namani Guru Krishna Nama. So Lord Chaitanya is the most munificent incarnations, because he has introduced a formula, he has introduced a process which is very sublime, so that anybody can adopt this process and make his life successful of going back to Godhead, can achieve the supreme goal of life. Also, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the Śikṣāṣṭakam reveals the progressive stage of chanting from the beginner to end, from sadhaka to, from practicing to perfections, which is love of Godhead. Therefore, this 8 essential instruction is considered to be the most important instruction, most important teaching, also essence of all scriptures encapsulated in this Śikṣāṣṭakam instruction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, on these notes, we will start the Śikṣāṣṭakam. Before we start Śikṣāṣṭakam, we must know this thing that how Mahaprabhu, understanding this deplorable, devastating, decimating status of Kali Yuga, he has given this medicine. It is stated in these beautiful verses in Bhagavatam that that the medicine is to glorify the Krishna. So, in this particular verses, it is stated that bhavasuto srota manoviramat ka uttama sloka gunanubadan punam virajyate vinapasudana. Bhavasuto means to stop this repeated birth and death, to stop this obnoxious material existence. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduced a sublime method of chanting the holy name of the Lord. Otherwise, it is very difficult, it is impossible, particularly in this age of Kali, to cross the ocean of material sciences. It is very, very difficult. It is stated that Kali Yuga is so abominable, extremely abominable. In these verses, you can see the symptoms of Kali Yuga has been given, that the abominable symptoms of Kali Yuga has been given. By the time age of Kali ends, the bodies of all creatures will be greatly reduced in size. The religious principle followed of Varnashrama will be ruined. Path of Veda will be completely forgotten in human society. And so-called religion will be mostly atheistic. King will mostly thief. The occupation of men will be stealing, lying, needless violence. All the social classes will be reduced to lowest level of Sudra. Cows will be like goats. Spiritual hermitage will be no different from mundane houses. And family ties will extend to no further than the immediate bonds of marriage. Most plants, herbs will be tiny, and all trees will appear like a dwarf sami tree. Clouds will be full of lightning, homes will be devoid of piety. All human beings will have become like ashes. At that time, the Supreme Personality of Godhead will appear on the earth, acting with power of pure spiritual goodness. He will rescue eternal region. So, how this so much abominable, so much deplorable condition of this age of Kali. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy is like unestimable. It cannot be, is beyond any kind of description. Any kind of description. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, out of his mercy, he instructed this verse. Actually, Mahaprabhu descended with two regions. One is external region, one is confidential region. His external region was that to deliver the mankind from the nescience of material existence. It is stated in this Adi, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, that the external region of coming of Chaitanya, Kali Yuge Yuga Dharma Namera Prachara Tatha Lagi Pita Banna Chaitanya Avatara. The religious practice for the age of Kali is to broadcast the glories of holy name. Only for this purpose has the Lord in a yellow color descended Chaitanya. So this is the external region, the confidential region. So therefore he is broadcasting this glory, because in Kali Yuga the Krishna is called Trijogi. Krishna do not appear, the Supreme Lord, Absolute Truth, do not appear in this age of Kali, because this Kali is so below standard for the Supreme Lord to descend. Therefore in this age of Kali, Kali Kale Namo Rupe Krishna Avatara. So Lord is descendant in the form of his name. Therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to glorify the holy name of the Lord, glorify the Lord who appears in the form of his name. In Bhagavad Gita ends with sarvādharmān parityājam mām ekam saranam. Mam means this is Nam, because Krishna do not appear in this age of Kali. It is stated in the verse that Lord is called Trijogi. There is so many other verses also there in 6990 also in CC Adi. Kali Juge Lila Avatara Nakare Bhagavana Ateva Trijuga Kare Kai Taranama. In this age of Kali, the Supreme Personality of God as Bhagavan does not appear as Lila Avatar, an incarnation to display pastime. Therefore, he is known as Kali Yuga. But Mahaprabhu appears in this as a devotee of the Lord to teach us in this age of Kali, one should worship the name, because Lord has appears as Nama Avatar. Kali Kule Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar. His incarnation is in name. This is his external region of appearance. And its internal region of appearance also is given in the CC Adi. You can see here that Radha Krishna Pranaya Viraktir Haladini Shakti Asmad Ekatmano Api Bhuvi Pura Deha Vedam Gato Chaitanya Akhyam Prakatam Madhuna Tad Doyam Chaityam Aptam Radha Bhava Duti Suvilitam Naumi Krishna Surupam. So he has come, his confidential region or internal region of Lord appearance is that here it is said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who has manifested with the sentiment and completion of Radharani, though he is Krishna himself. So Mahaprabhu is Krishna and he appears with the sentiment and completion of Radharani. Sentiment means mood of Radharani. Mood of Radharani is always vipralamba, always in separation. The vipralamba seva, vipralamba bhava, always in separation, which is the highest, which is considered to be the highest of all kind of transaction, loving transaction with Lord. So Radharani is manifesting the highest, and to experience that, what kind of sentiment Radharani, what kind of mood Radharani worship me or loves me, I want to taste that. So Mahaprabhu came, and that bhava is a vipralamba bhava. Therefore, in Mahaprabhu life, if you see that Mahaprabhu has, I can show you this slide, little bit of background before we start the classes, start the things. You can see the little background of Mahaprabhu's things. So here you can see so here you can see that Mahaprabhu's in his 48 years of Mahaprabhu has been divided into different parts. So in his 48 years, Mahaprabhu, out of 48 years, 24 years, you can see here, 24 years, 24 years. Grahastha life of Mahaprabhu is 24 years. And Sannyas Lila is 24 years. So in first 24 years, he was staying in Navadvip. And after he took sannyas, he came to Nilachal, Puri, 24 years. And out of 24 years, he actually, out of 24 years of Puri, Jagannath, 6 years he was doing all Sankirtan. He was publicly preaching or publicly conducting the congregational chanting of the holy name of the Lord, interacting with devotees. But the 12 years period, last 12 years, he was confined and exhibiting his internal purpose of descending here, internal purpose or confidential purpose of appearance. What is the confidential purpose? Radha Bhava. So he was confined in a room called Gambhira, a inner chamber. In Kasi Mishra, there was a devotee called Kasi Mishra, his house. Now also we can go to Puri, we can see. And that room, Lord was confined and he was exhibiting his confidential region of appearance to taste the Radha Bhava, means Vipralamba Bhava, separation, love in separation. And during that period of time, he composed this Śikṣāṣṭakam. He released this Śikṣāṣṭakam, not composed, he actually released this Śikṣāṣṭakam. He was discussing with his internal, associates, Swarup Damodar Ramananda Roy. It is stated in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Lord had formally composed the 8 verses to teach people in general. Now, during his final pastime, he personally tested the meaning of this verse, which are called Śikṣāṣṭaka. So, during his last 12 years in Gambhira, he was releasing this 8 instruction, 8 verses, Śikṣāṣṭakam. Then, Rupa Goswami, in his book Padyavali means collection of all the devotional verses, he included all these 8 verses, because these 8 verses are composed, are instructed, are spoken in different times. Therefore, Rupa Goswami has collected in different part in his Padyavali. In different, you can see Padyavali, so different part of Padyavali. In Padyavali, ceto-darpaṇa-mārjanaṁ is 22 verses, whereas Namana Makari Bauda is 31 verses. Tanadipi is 32. Then Nadhanam 94. In different place. But Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, assembled it properly in a chronological way. And it comes out as a Śikṣāṣṭakam. And this Śikṣāṣṭakam is the Śikṣāṣṭakam is most important part of the teaching. Why? Because if you see, Bhagavad Gita ends with the quintessential teaching of Lord Kṛṣṇa, sarvātma-snapanaṁ mamekam saranam vada. And Srimad Bhagavatam starts with the surrendering, ends with this Nama Sankirtan, glorifying the Nama Sankirtan. You can see these beautiful verses. You can see here the beautiful verses, last verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. The last verses of Srimad Bhagavatam is stated that Nama Sankirtanajasya sarva papa pranasanam pranama dukkha samanastam namami harim param. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord Hari. The congregational chanting of whose holy name destroys all sinful reaction, and offering obeisances, the offering obeisances unto whom relieves all material suffering. So that is the last verse. Bhagavatam ends with prioritizing, emphasizing the congregational chanting Sankirtan of Krishna, Supreme Lord. And Chaitanya Charitamrita starts with saying that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears for this purpose of spreading this Hare Krishna Mahamantra in this age of Kali. In these beautiful verses, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami started that Mahaprabhu anarpita charim chirat karunavatinna kalau samarpaita munnato jalarasam swabhakti sriyam. See, here it is said that may the Supreme Lord, who is known as son of Sachidevi, be transcendently situated in the innermost chamber of your heart. Resplendent with radiance of molten gold, he has appeared in the age of Kali by his causeless mercy to bestow what no incarnation has offered before, the most sublime, radiant mellow of devotional service, mellow of conjugal love. So this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu starts with that he has come to distribute the love of Godhead, the highest perfection of human mission to achieve the love of Godhead. prema pumartha mahan. And that he is distributing in the form of chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Therefore, Śikṣāṣṭakam is revealing that if one chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra congregationally, progressively he will come to the point of last stage, that is called prema bhakti. From sadhaka period, from beginning to prema bhakti. That is revealed in the Śikṣāṣṭakam. Therefore, the Śikṣāṣṭakam is most essential and very, very significant, important, paramount important verses, instruction of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. On this, although Mahaprabhu has left this 8 verse, on the basis of, on the philosophy, on the conception of this 8 verse, the Goswamis, 6 Goswami, expanded it and produced volumes of books on this particular teaching of Śikṣāṣṭakam, teaching of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Śikṣāṣṭakam. Therefore, Śikṣāṣṭakam is very, very important. So, on this notes, we will start the and also Chaitanya Charitamrita, the last chapter is called Śikṣāṣṭakam. Chaitanya Charitamrita is considered to be the postgraduate study of Vaishnavism, which ends with, concludes with, culminates with glories of chanting the holy name of the Lord, Śikṣāṣṭakam. That means we can understand, we can deduce the conclusion that how important the Śikṣāṣṭakam of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, on these notes, we will start this first verse of Śikṣāṣṭakam. Let us read this. ceto-darpaṇa-mārjanaṁ bhava-mahā-dāvāgni-nirvāpaṇaṁ śreyaḥ-kairava-candrikā-vitaraṇaṁ vidyā-vadhū-jīvanam ānandāmbudhi-vardhanaṁ prati-padaṁ pūrṇāmṛtāsvādanaṁ sarvātma-snapanaṁ paraṁ vijayate śrī-kṛṣṇa-saṅkīrtanam. Let there be all victory for the chanting the holy name of the Lord Kṛṣṇa, which can clean the mirror of the heart, stop the misery of blazing fire of material existence. That chanting is waxing moon that spread the white lotus, good fortune for all living entity. It is the life and soul of all education. The chanting of holy name of Kṛṣṇa expands the bliss of ocean of transcendental life. It gives a cooling effect to everyone, enables one to taste the full nectar at every step. So, this is the first verse of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Śikṣāṣṭakam. So, let's know what is the meaning, profound meaning. As I told you, we should not just memorize the verses. One must know the deeper meaning of these verses. We will know now what is the deeper meaning of these beautiful verses, ceto-darpaṇa-mārjanaṁ. So, because in Kali Yuga, people minds are polluted. Manda means very lazy, very bad, contaminated. Manda. Sumanda mataya means they are misdirected, accepting something bad. Therefore, their mind is polluted and they are suffering. Manda bhagya. Upadrita means they are always suffering of miseries. People do not have a livelihood. They are suffering adhyatmic, adidaivik, atibhautik, threefold of misery. And they have no hope for transcendence. They have no hope because so much disturbed, so much misdirected. They take birth and die. They take birth, die. They take birth, die. Their entire existence is plagued by impurities, full of impure. Kalir dosanidhi rajan. In Kali Yuga, ocean of impurities, ocean of faults. Therefore, Mahaprabhu, out of his mercy, he has given beautiful things. What is that? The 7 perfection of chanting the holy name of the Lord. Here you can see that I can show you details here. That 7 perfection of chanting the holy name of the Lord. What is the 7 perfection? In the first verse, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taught us there are 7 perfection, 7 stages of chanting the holy name. What is the first stage? ceto-darpaṇa-mārjanaṁ. Ceto-darpaṇa-mārjanaṁ means cleanses the mirror of the heart. Second is bhava-mahā-dāvāgni-nirvāpaṇaṁ. Extinguishes the fire of conditioned life, that is called repeated birth and death. Third is śreyaḥ-kairava-candrikā-vitaraṇaṁ. That means it will give us, bless us with bhava bhakti. Vidyā-vadhū-jīvanam, life of all transcendental knowledge. ānandāmbudhi-vardhanaṁ, this chanting increases the ocean of transcendental bliss. Prati-padaṁ pūrṇāmṛtāsvādanaṁ, enables us to fully taste the nectar at every step. And finally, sarvātma-snapanaṁ, complete self-purification. So we will go one by one details so that we can know the meaning. What is called ceto-darpaṇa-mārjanaṁ? Because mirror of the heart, just like mirror, if you see on the mirror that if you see in the mirror, you cannot see your face if it is dust. If it is covered with dust or dirty thing, we cannot see the mirror properly. The reflection cannot be seen properly. Therefore, first thing is clear. If you clean this mirror, then we can see the reflection. What is called reflection? Reflection means we do not know what I am. What is my sarupa knowledge? Sarupa knowledge means what is my constitutional position? Who am I? Everybody in this world has got one problem that leads to infinite problem. What is that one problem? Identity crisis. We do not know who am I. If you ask somebody who are you? I am engineer, I am doctor, I am Indian, I am black, white, American, Indian, all these things going on. So they do not know who are they. Therefore, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna start with the fundamental knowledge that we are not this body, we are the spirit soul. Therefore, the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the first stage or first perfection, first purification, first stage is ceto-darpaṇa-mārjanaṁ, means cleanses this misconception that I am the body. I am the body and my family, my society, my community, so and so forth. Everything related to body. In this way, we are illusion. We are illusion. Therefore, first thing is that it teaches us that it will clear the dust and we know that, oh, I am not this body, I am the spirit soul. I am the spirit soul. All the dust, misconception, our intelligence, which is completely flawed, completely contaminated due to material existence, that will clean and we can see the things clearly. We can understand the scripture properly. There are so many different kind of dust is there. So many different kind of dust. Layer of dust. Different layer of dust. What are the layer of dust? The layer of the dust is that everybody wants to enjoy bhukti. And many few people want to mukti, liberation, merge with Krishna. Some people wanted to become a yogi, attain some perfection. All this kind of dust, they are layer of dust. As long as we have this layer of dust, we cannot see the reflection of our body properly. Therefore, the chanting of the Hare Krishna will clear all this unnecessary desire, anya vilasita sunyam, jnana karmadi anarvitam. All material desires, all kind of misconception, I am body, I am the body, all these things will go away. Then we can see that I am the spirit soul and my duty is to serve the Supreme Lord. Jivera Swarupa Hoye Nitya Krishnara Dasa. We can know that I am the part and parcel of the Lord and my duty is to serve the Lord. That is called Swarupa Shakti. That is called first thing, ceto-darpaṇa-mārjanaṁ, Swarupa knowledge. Then we will come to the position of Brahma Bhutta Prasanatma. Immediately our real identification as spirit soul, we become very joyful. As long as we are in this bodily platform, I am this body, then there is a very, very big problem because we will be always in anxiety. Therefore, as soon as By chanting, mirror of the heart is clean, all the dust, we can see the face what he is. Face means real identification. All the misconception will be gone. And another very nicely is told by Bhakti Vinod Thakur that when a mirror you see, it will reflect the object which is very close to you, which is very close to close to us. Our soul, our real identification is actually very close, as well as Supreme Soul, God is very close. So we can understand our identification, understand also God, understand our relationship with God. So that is called ceto-darpaṇa-mārjanaṁ. The second point is that, second things is there, that bhava-mahā-dāvāgni-nirvāpaṇaṁ extinguishes the conditional life of repeated birth and death. So at present moment, we are all conditions. We are all suffering because of repeated birth and death. Pūrṇāmṛtāsvādanaṁ, pūrṇāmṛtāsvādanaṁ, maranam. It is stated in these beautiful verses that at present moment we are entrapped. So it is say that, very beautiful verses, 6:115. The subtle body is an effect of three modes of material nature. It is composed of insurmountable strong desire. Therefore, it causes the living entity to transmigrate from one body to another in human form of life, animal life, as a demigod. When the living entity gets the body of a demigod, he is certainly very jovial. So in all conditions, however, he is actually miserable. His miserable condition is called samsriti, means transmigration in material life. So we are transmigrating, punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, and that is called very miserable life, miserable condition. It is say called samsriti, means miserable condition, changing from one body to another body. According to karma, sometimes we have demigod body, sometimes fish, sometimes animal. So these are called miserable condition. So this miserable condition of repeated birth and death will be stopped by chanting. The fully embodied living entity, inept at controlling his sense and mind, is forced to act according to the influence of modes of material nature against his desire. He is like a silkworm that uses his own saliva to create a cocoon. He becomes trapped in it with no possibility of getting out. The living entity traps himself in a network of his own fruitive activity, then can find no way to release him. Thus he is always bewildered. Repeatedly he dies. See, so beautiful verses. So because of our misconception that I am the body and I want to enjoy this body, in this way we, due to avidya, ignorance, we created so many different type of desire, and in that desire we are entrapped from one body to another body. To enjoy that desire, we have to take different bodies, transmigrate from one body to another body, and we repeatedly die, we repeatedly take birth. But here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say that ceto-darpaṇa-mārjanaṁ, bhava-mahā-dāvāgni-nirvāpaṇaṁ, all this repeated birth and death is like a maha means great, dāvāgni means forest fire. So very difficult to extinguish a forest fire, because forest fire cannot be extinguished by our fire brigader. No, we cannot do that. Fire brigader is for the house or small places, small fire condition. But forest fire is difficult. Only forest fire can be extinguished by the cloud, rainfall. So chanting is like rain. It will extinguish this forest fire of repeated birth and death. That is the second perfection, second stage, second benefit of chanting the holy name of the Lord. Then third one, what is the third stage? The third stage is given here, that śreyaḥ-kairava-candrikā-vitaraṇaṁ, spread the ray of benediction, moon of bhava bhakti, ultimate good, holy name bestows upon the supreme goal. So here it is said that that how the holy name of the Lord bestow the supreme good. Because our supreme good is to engage in the devotional service. Krishna said that bhaktya mam avijananti javanjacha samitattva. Only by bhakti one can achieve the supreme goal, go back to Godhead. So many places, whole Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Krishna says that only by bhakti one can come to me. So this chanting of the holy name, śreyaḥ-kairava-candrikā-vitaraṇaṁ, just like a moon, when you diffuse the light, it will bloom the lotus flower. Similarly, when we chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it will sprout up the bhakti for Krishna, which is the most essential thing, which is the supreme goal. Therefore, this is the third perfection of chanting. It will bestow upon the bhakti, prema bhakti, bhava bhakti to Supreme Lord. And the fourth one, we will go to the fourth stage. The fourth stage is called vidyā-vadhū-jīvanam. Very, very important thing. Vidyā-vadhū-jīvanam means, you can see here, vidyā-vadhū-jīvanam means life of all transcendental knowledge. See, without knowledge, one cannot get out from this material world. We need knowledge. Transcendental knowledge is very important. Therefore, Prabhupada says that first thing is knowledge. Do not just be parrot like memorizing Śrī Śikṣāṣṭakam, I know. No. We should understand that our Krishna consciousness, the first thing is knowledge. Without knowledge, one cannot cross the ocean of material insight. Transcendental knowledge, not mundane knowledge. There are two kinds of knowledge. Avidya. Avidya means we do not know. There is a very nice verse is there. What is called avidya and vidya. What is avidya? There are very beautiful verses here it is spoken. Avidya means you do not know. Who am I? How to get out? What is the purpose of life? So in these verses, Rishabhadev said, due to ignorance, the materialistic person does not know anything about his real self-interest, the auspicious path in life. He is simply bound to material enjoyment by lusty desire. All his plans are made for this purpose, for temporary sense gratification. Such a person creates a society of envy. Due to this mentality, he plunges into ocean of suffering. Such a foolish person does not even know about this. They do not know that we are trapped in this material, excruciating, we are pathetically entrapped in this excruciating, painful situation. That is called avidya. Avidya kama karvihi. Due to ignorance, we created so many desires without knowing our constitutional position. Vidya means transcendental knowledge, to know that I am the part and parcel of the Lord. My duty, my mission is to serve the Lord. Just like a finger duty to serve the body. As long as he is serving the body, he is in healthy condition. If he is not, he is very diseased condition. Similarly, as long as we are serving the Lord, we are in safe and secure. So therefore, vidyā-vadhū-jīvanam means vidyā-vadhū. This vidya is the wife of the Harinam. Is subservient, just like a wife is subservient to husband. Similarly, this transcendental knowledge is the wife of Harinam. It is stated by Lord Shiva that without transcendental knowledge, one cannot get out. These are beautiful verses. Lord Shiva said this, how important is transcendental knowledge. He say that in this material world, there are different type of achievement, but all of them achievement, knowledge is considered to be the highest, because one can cross the ocean of nescience only on the boat of knowledge. Otherwise, ocean is impossible. If you do not know the transcendental knowledge, one cannot go back to Godhead. Krishna also says to Uddhava the same point. He told to Uddhava that O most intelligent Uddhava, the living entity called Jiva is part and parcel of me. But due to ignorance, he has been suffering in the material bondage since time immemorial. By knowledge, however, he can be liberated. And that the conclusion and culmination of that transcendental knowledge means holy name. That means when you chant the holy name, it is the end of all knowledge, because all transcendental knowledge ends with saying that chanting the holy name is the only means. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nameva Kevalam, Kalo Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva Gatirana. The conclusion and culmination, the perfection of all transcendental knowledge is chanting the holy name of the Lord. There is no alternative, no alternative, no alternative. It is stated in Mahaprabhu himself say, this is the end of everything. In this verse, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say, that holy name of the Lord is the end, and be and all end. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nameva Kevalam Kalo Nasteva, Nasteva. In this age of Kali, there is no other means, no other means, no other means for self-realization than chanting the holy name, chanting the holy name, chanting the holy name. 3 times he is emphasizing that there is no other. Therefore, it is the life of all transcendental knowledge. Holy name is the life of transcendental knowledge. In another place, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say that it is Mahaprabhu who is quoting. Mahaprabhu is Krishna, is he himself quoting these beautiful verses. He quoted these beautiful verses that Krishna mantra hoite hobe sansara mochana, Krishna nama hoite pabe Krishnera charana. He has said that, not this one, next verse. Namo binu kale kale nahi ara dharma, sarva mantra sara nama ei shastra marma. In this age of Kali, there is no religious principle other than chanting the holy name, which is the essence of all Vedic hymn. This is the purport of all scripture. Therefore, it is the vidyā-vadhū-jīvanam. We cannot just memorize, oh, vidyā-vadhū-jīvanam. You should understand why it is vidyā-vadhū-jīvanam. Why the life of all transcendental knowledge? Because transcendental knowledge is very, very important. Without that, we cannot cross. But the conclusion and culmination of transcendental knowledge is chanting the holy name. By chanting, one can cover all transcendental knowledge. As Mahaprabhu say, it is the purport of all scriptures. Sarva dharma sara, sarva shastra marma. Sarva shastra marma means purport. Therefore, it is called life of all transcendental knowledge. Then we can go back to the what is the fourth perfection of chanting. The fourth perfection of chanting is fifth perfection is ānandāmbudhi-vardhanaṁ. Ānandāmbudhi-vardhanaṁ means, what is ānandāmbudhi-vardhanaṁ? Increase the ocean of transcendental bliss. So when we come to the proper level of, while chanting the name of Kirtan, we find the transcendental ocean that is above all sort of experience. The name comes to the asset himself over it. So here it is very important thing. Ānandāmbudhi means ocean. In material world, Prabhupada say that the ocean is never increased by rainy season or summer season. It is always static. But holy name is such a blissful that it is like an increasing ocean. That is called ānandāmbudhi-vardhanaṁ. It is like an increasing ocean. Always increasing, always blissful. Fully satisfied. No more anything. Swamin Kitatusmi, as soon as Dhruva Maharaj saw the Lord, he told, I am content. I am content. I don't need anything. I don't need anything. It is enough. So, yam labdacha paramalabham. If somebody is got everything what he likes, he doesn't need any other thing. That is the highest point. This is the highest. that there is no need of any other things. There is a beautiful verses in this regard, how it is called ānandāmbudhi-vardhanaṁ, how it is so blissful. It is stated in beautiful thing. Uh, Rupa Goswami is very nicely quoting our Goswami that how it is so blissful that he needs 100 of mouth to chant. Rupa Goswami say that in Antya, Tunde Tundabali Tunde Tandavini Ratimbitanute Tundabali Labjahe Kanna Krodho Kadambini Gatayate Kannarvu Vedebhyo Sriha ceto-darpaṇa-mārjanaṁ vijayate sarvendriyanam kirtim जाने जानिता क्रियाद्भिर अमृता ही कृष्णेति वन्ने दोई. Beautiful verses. I do not know how much nectar the two syllables Krishna have produced. When the holy name of Krishna is chanted, it appears to dance within the mouth. We then desire many mouths. When that name enters the whole of the ears, we desire many millions of ears. When the holy name dances in the courtyard of heart, it conquers the activities of mind. Therefore, all senses become inert. Here, very nicely, Rupa Goswami say, so blissful that he wants millions of ears to hear, millions of tongues to chant. How much blissful this is. So blissful this holy name of the Lord. In other places also, Mahaprabhu has said that this is so blissful that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say that Antya, very nice verse this one. My dear Lord, O Master of the universe, since I have directly seen you, my transcendental bliss has taken shape of a great ocean. Being situated in that ocean, I now realize other so-called happiness, including even Brahmananda, to be like the water contaminated hoofprint of car. So there is three kind of happiness. One is material enjoyment like a drop, and another kind of enjoyment is Brahmananda, means merging into the impersonal Brahmajyoti. Those yogis and all, they wanted to merge. They are also happiness, Brahmananda, they call Ananda, Brahma Ananda. But that is like a hoofprint of Kal. But chanting of Hare Krishna is like an ocean of happiness. So why one should be interested in so-called happiness, materialistic happiness, merging into the impersonal happiness, Brahmananda? These all are very insignificant as compared to the chanting the holy name of the Lord. If you properly chanting become expert, it's like it will give you an ocean of bliss. It is stated in this another verses. They say that 7:37 purport, the bliss is so good that compared to others is like nothing. See, Prabhupada has given very nicely, beautiful bliss of merging in Brahman effulgence were multiplied 100 million times, it would still not equal even the atomic fragment of the ocean of transcendental bliss felt in devotional service. How much blissful this is. Therefore, ānandāmbudhi-vardhanaṁ is like an ocean that always increases. We have never seen a material ocean ever increases, but it is something transcendental. Therefore, it is said that golokera premadhana harinam sankirtana. This sankirtan is not from the material world, it is imported from the spiritual world. What is the next stage of chanting? The next stage of chanting, it is stated that prati-padaṁ pūrṇāmṛtāsvādanaṁ enables us to fully taste the nectar at every step. So, prati-padaṁ means every step we are releasing that. It is not like a stale. So, it is not like, It is not like a stale, just like newspaper. Today we see, tomorrow we do not want to read. Put it into this dustbin, trash. It is stale. Mundane topics are stale. We do not know, we do not like to repeatedly read. But this chanting of the holy name of the Lord is ever youth, ever fresh. Nityanutanaha. So that every step we release. It's not that I have released, oh, today I am very nice, I chanted Hare Krishna, very happy. And next day when I am chanting, I am not getting that pleasure. No, 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 no. Every step. Actually, 24 hours chanting. The Goswamis are chanting 24 hours a day. They are not bored. They are not bored. So that is the impact of chanting. Once you chanting, you become a crazy. You become like so much blissful, so much happiness that every step you want to. Sadhu, sadhu, every step you will be enjoying, releasing. It's not like what you say, exaggeration. No, it is not exaggeration. It is real fact. There is a beautiful verses. It is stated that that how every step there is a in this verse it is say that 20, 50. It is stated here that tadeva ramyam ruchiram navam navam. The word describing the glories of all famous personality of God that are attractive, releasable, ever fresh. Nityanutanaha, ever fresh. Because Krishna is ever youthful. Advaitam Achuttamaнаdir Anantarupam Navajovanam cha. Advaitam Achuttamanantam Advaitam Achuttamanantam Navajovanam cha. Vedesu Dullabam Adullabam. So here it is said that ever fresh. Lord is Navajovana, ever fresh, ever youthful. Indeed, such words are perpetual festival for the mind, and they dry up the ocean of misery. Perpetual festival. When you chanting, it's like a festival for the mind. Every step, not that, oh, I have seen one movie, I don't want to see the second time, or third time, fourth time. We don't want to repeat. Mundane thing cannot be repeated. It is boring, monotonous, distasteful. There is a law of satiation. But in this case, there is no law of satiation. Rather, it increases at every step. Because it is so blissful, releasable, festival to the mind. Ever fresh. What is the last perfection of chanting the holy name is given here very nicely. Last perfection is here is that sarvātma-snapanaṁ paraṁ vijayate śrī-kṛṣṇa-saṅkīrtanam. Complete self-purification. Fully purified from the defect of desiring the liberation of merging into Brahman, fault of enjoying selfish desire. Sarvātma-snapanam means one is fully purified from the defects, all these defects. So that is very, very, very nice thing. So it's sarvātma-snapanam means it's purified completely, not a tinge of material desire. That means actually in this verse, Mahaprabhu has given a summary, the progressive stage of bhakti. It will come to the point of prema bhakti where there is no kind of desire, unmotivated, no material desire, complete purification. That is stated by Rupa Goswami. Bhakti means, what is real bhakti? Real bhakti means, it is stated in these beautiful verses by Rupa Goswami. Anya vilasita sunyam jnana karmadhyanarvitam anukulyena krishnanusilanam bhakti uttama. What is uttama bhakti? Uttama bhakti means perfect bhakti, first class devotional service. When first class devotional service develop, one must be devoid of all material desire, knowledge obtained by monastic philosophy, and fruitive action. The devotee must constantly serve Krishna favorably as Krishna desires. So this is called first class devotional service. So that is called sarvātma-snapanaṁ, means is a complete purification. No more tinge of material desire, no more become yogi to get some power, no more to become impersonalist mayavadi to merge into the effulgence of Krishna. No, these are called desire. They are called material desire. They will not, this is not the goal of life. The goal of life means prema pumartha-mahan, unmotivated devotional service, pure devotional service, first class devotional service. That is called sarvātma-snapanaṁ. So the chanting of Hare Krishna will give us that first class devotional service. Sarvātma-snapanaṁ, that first class devotional service, free from all kind of contamination, material contamination. That is the seventh perfection, seventh benefit, seventh stage of chanting the holy name of the Lord. But unfortunately, therefore it is stated in Bhagavatam that it's stated with the beautiful verses from the Bhagavatam. It is stated that nice verses. He says that the conclusion of everything is chanting the holy name of the Lord. In this verse, he says that etan nirvidyamananam ichchatam akuta bhayam yoginam nirpaninitam hare namanukirtanam. O King, constant chanting of the holy name of the Lord after the wage of great authority is the doubtless fearless way of success for all, including those who are free from material desire, those who are desirous of material enjoyment, also those who are self-realized by dint of transcendental knowledge. So it is the only process, chanting of the holy name for everyone. Everyone, this is the process. This is success process, success formula. Therefore, Mahaprabhu has given the seventh perfection of chanting the holy name of the Lord. Mahaprabhu has given this very out of his boundless mercy. One should understand this, what are the benefits, glories of the congregational chanting of the Lord. Therefore, it is finally said that parama vijayate śrī-kṛṣṇa-saṅkīrtanam. Let there be victory over all. All the process is subservient to this process of congregational chanting of the holy name of the Lord. There no other process is so impactful, enduring impact, so other process can give us gargantuan benefit, the perfection. No other process than this congregational chanting. Therefore, it is called saṅkīrtana, samyak rupena. Samyak means is a complete, full glorification of the Lord. But unfortunately, in this age of Kali, you see, it is stated in Kali Yuga, people are not interested. They are saying, what is this chanting? Terrified, about to die, man collapsed on his bed. Although his voice is faltering, he is hardly conscious of what he is saying. If he utters the holy name of Supreme Lord, he can be freed from reaction of his fruity backward, achieve the supreme destination. But still, people in the age of Kali will not worship the Supreme Lord. See, in the age of Kali, people do not worship. Although by simply uttering, vibrating the name of the Lord, one can easily get out from this material existence. But people are not interested. How abominable this! Therefore, the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so great, infinite, boundless, causeless. So we will end with one of the beautiful verses quoted by Sukadeva Goswami, that tasmat sankirtanam Vishnu jaganamangalam amhasam matam api kaurava vidhi aikantika niskritam Sukadev Goswami says, my dear king, the chanting of holy name of the Lord is able to uproot even the reaction of greatest sin. Therefore, chanting of Sankirtan movement is the most auspicious activity in the entire universe. Entire universe. Please try to understand this so that others will take it seriously. It is the most auspicious thing in the entire universe. One who constantly hears and chants the holy name of the Lord and hears and chants about his activity can very easily attain the platform of pure devotional service, which can clean the dirt of one's heart. One cannot achieve such purification by merely observing vow, performing Vedic ritualistic ceremony. No other process. Therefore, it is called sarvātma-snapanaṁ. Is the highest process for the complete purification. Complete purification. No other things can compare to this. This is the sonam banam of everything. This is the sonam banam of everything. When people properly glorify the Supreme Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead, or simply hear about his power, the Lord personally enters their heart and cleanses away every trace of misfortune, just as the sun removes the darkness or as a powerful wind drives away the cloud. See how much benefit of Sankirtan movement. Particularly in this age of Kali, it is stated, those who are actually advanced in knowledge are able to appreciate the essential value of this age of Kali. Such enlightened person worship the Kali Yuga because in this fallen age, all perfection of life can easily be achieved by the performance of Sankirtan. Kaler doshanidhirajan, although it is very abominable, but this abominable age can be worshipable if we do the Sankirtan, congregational chanting of the holy name of the Lord. This age also can be called as Satyajug if we are doing the chanting. It is stated in the purport. Whatever achieved in the beautiful verses, it is said that in the verse it is said that Satyajuga, it can be a Satyajuga. Simply by doing Sankirtan, one can most perfect penance to be executed in this world is chanting the name of the Lord Sri Hari. Especially in the age of Kali, one can satisfy the Supreme Lord Vishnu by performing Sankirtan. The Sankirtan is most important. The verse is there, it is called that when a Satya Yuga becomes, Kali Yuga becomes Satya Yuga by chanting the holy name of the Lord. Somewhere it is written that this Satya Yuga can be Kali Yuga can be Satya Yuga by chanting. Therefore, this congregational chanting is the highest process of realization, highest process of purification, and the best formula, successful formula to go back to Godhead. On this note, we will stop here. Thank you very much. And Jai Śrī Śikṣāṣṭakam ki Jai. Jai Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol.